First, let me give a shout out to Scorpio Guy for sending me this update, and this definitely is an update. On my previous channel, I talked about a man by the name of Shannon Kepler who shot and killed this black kid for being in a relationship with his white daughter in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Well, a sentence has been passed. The man has been found guilty of murder in the first degree, and he was sentenced to 15 years in jail. That to me is a slap on the wrist because he should have gotten life in prison without the possibility of parole. 15 years is not enough. I just did a story about a man in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, Canada, who got sentenced to 12 years in prison for child rape, molestation, child pornography, and whatnot. And this guy only gets 3 more years than he does for killing somebody. But then again, who he killed was black. So there's that. And this happened in Tulsa, Oklahoma, the same exact place where that bitch Betty Shelby was able to walk free after killing Terrence Crutcher. Let me get into this. It says a white former police officer in Tulsa, Oklahoma has been sentenced to 15 years behind bars for fatally shooting his daughter's 19-year-old black boyfriend in 2014. Now, I bet you we gonna have them people in them goddamn Yahoo comment section saying, why you gotta bring race into this? Because we do, goddamn it. If y'all didn't create the social construct of race, we probably wouldn't be discussing the social construct known as race. So since you brought it up, deal with that shit. Let's continue. Last month, a jury convicted Shannon Kepler, a 57-year-old ex-cop of first-degree manslaughter in the shooting death of Jeremey Lake. It was the 4th jury that Kepler had faced in the span of about a year after 3 hung juries. They took this thing to court 4 damn times before they decided they was going to find him guilty. However, I have to give them some kudos for being determined to finally get this man on something, because they could have stopped after the first one and he would have walked away. At the jury's recommendation, Tulsa County District Court Judge Sharon Holmes sentenced Kepler to a 15-year prison term on Monday. She also ordered him to pay a $10,000 fine. Even that's on the low end. I'm sure he can scrounge that $10K from somewhere. And they need to put his ass in gin pop. Kepler has maintained that he shot Lake in self-defense in August 2014. The police veteran said that he'd driven to Lake's house out of concern for his then 18-year-old daughter, Lisa Kepler. He said his daughter, who had recently become romantically involved with Lake, had run away from home, and he hoped to convince her to return. Lisa Kepler told jurors that her parents had kicked her out of the house and dropped her off at a homeless shelter in the days leading up to the shooting. It was there that she met Lake, who volunteered at the facility. She said she soon moved in with the teen and his aunt. On August 5, 2014, Lisa Kepler and Lake returned home to find Shannon Kepler waiting outside in his SUV. After exchanging a few words with her dad, Lisa Kepler said she turned to walk into the house when she heard several gunshots. When she turned around, Lake was lying on the ground. Her father had returned to his vehicle and driven off. He claims he shot in self-defense because he saw Lake pull a semi-automatic gun out of his pocket. He said police, however, did not find a weapon on Lake or at the scene of the crime. Several witnesses also testified that they had not seen Lake with a gun. Lake's aunt said her nephew had moved to shake Kepler's hand when the police officer, who had been off duty at the time, pulled the trigger, according to CBS News. Kepler said he had been considered calling 911, but had called his wife instead because he realized he was in a pickle. Well, that lets you know right there that he was guilty. I don't really need to go anywhere else than that, but his ass definitely should have gotten way more than 15 years in jail because he definitely killed this guy in the first degree. But anyway, that's the update right there. There's probably most likely not going to come anything else to come from this story unless we find out that something did happen to him in prison, which we wouldn't be obliged to. Y'all let me know what you think down in the comments. The links will be in the description. Have your notifications turned on.